break every rule in this dumb code of conduct.
It is the Morning Mayhem on Trans-Africa Radio.
Let's stick it to the man.
Radio.mobi, Lebza The Villian on this one. The song is called Villain's Village. And of course, the time now is exactly 10 minutes past 10 o'clock Central African time. A third and final hour of the show. And of course, as promised to you, we actually have the Brotherman inside the studio. And earlier on, we're actually joined by Brazo Africa. And right now, we have the Villain inside the studio. The Night of the Villain. That's actually his hashtag on his Twitter handle.
Yeah.
And it's like a young party that you are doing, every year. What's going on, dog?
Yo, how you doing, bro?
I'm good, man. How you doing, my man?
Good, man. Good. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming
early in the morning. So I was like, let me just wake up. I'm not used to this stuff.
Is it?
Yeah, no, waking up early is tough, I think, for a lot of people, actually. So,
yeah? What time do you usually wake up, man? Because usually from gigs.
It's funny because I wake up early, but I don't leave the bed.
Oh.
You know what I mean? So I'd wake up at 5 or 6, but I wouldn't leave the bed.
Oh, so you're still in bed?
Yeah, until like 9 or 9:30.
Shucks, man.
Yeah.
This guy, are you that lazy or what?
No, it's just I think that's one of the reasons why I left my 9 to 5.
Okay.
To have my own time. You know what I mean? To control my own time.
Okay.
So I don't have to wake up at 9 for nobody.
Okay.
But hey.
Okay. Yeah. I see you. Now, you're actually born and raised in Pretoria. And you're
actually born in Pretoria, but
raised in Midrand.
In Midrand.
In Midrand, you know? So now, I want to understand the transition from Pretoria, dog. Pretoria is actually not known for predominantly Afro house. You know what I mean? And you have actually come here and just, murdered this Afro house music industry, And right now, I also want to understand, dog. Now, you went to the burbs, like Midrand is the burbs,
Yeah, well, I mean, it's like Senton and Alex. You do have your other side.
But maybe Midrand.
Yeah. Well, there's two sections of Midrand that people aren't aware. Actually, more than two.
Oh yeah.
So there's Ivory Park, Ruby Ridge, and Ebony Park, which are the townships of Midrand.
But they sound very Lani though, like the words.
Yeah, well, I mean, whether it sounds and looks are two different stories. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. So I went to school at Halfway House Primary, and I went to high school in Midrand Primary. High school, Midrand High school. So just literally in the same area. But yeah, I was raised in Ivory Park and moved to Ebony Park with my mom and dad later. Okay, cool. So how was Pretoria before you actually moved to Midrand? Yeah, bro. Like, to be quite honest with you, Pretoria is just the place where I was born. My grandmother lives in a village called Winterveld, which is
I've heard of Winterveld.
Yeah, Winterveld, which is like literally just, I think, 10 minutes from Shoshanguve. Okay. Yeah, so it's a place where my dad grew up and not where I grew up. You know what I mean? So yes, it's home, but it's not where I grew up. I did have family go Shoshanguve Koditi. My uncle lived there, but it's not like where I grew up. But yes, two different. Like, Pretoria is a country on its own. Like the style of house music, the culture of the music, and the culture of the people, the woman is completely different from what we have this side. You know what I mean? But I guess one of the biggest things that I actually pick up in Pretoria is that they more musical. Like, if you listen to all these songs, whether it's house, they like whoever's producing is musical. It goes back to Boom Java when they did that. You know what I mean? That's a very musical melody that he played, and that's the kind of house music that they do. That's very very musical. Whether it's ratchet or whatever you think it is, and I just took all of those elements of music and just brought it together and created my own style. Now, were you actually influenced by a certain artist or from Pretoria? Yeah, not from Pretoria, I'd say, but in generally, I was influenced by a lot of Soul Candy's compilations, both Soul Candy sessions, Terrence Music Box. Sure. I was influenced by Quantized Mix, Bolulo Cafes, Fresh House Flavor. You know what I mean. So I used to buy a Fresh House Flavor and Soul Candy and all of that stuff. So I think in the 90s, I still believe is probably the best era of house music. Thank you so much. Thank you for that one. There's a car for you. You know what I mean? So for me, the 90s were the best part of house music because I just feel like we will never get better than that. You know what I mean? Yes, we will evolve, but that was like, wow. True. Yeah. Now, dog, like, one thing I also understand about you is that you also went to Soul Candy and actually studied, you know, there. But now, one thing that I also want to understand is that, you know what, you went on, and I feel like you've always wanted to be like a music producer or always wanted to be in the music industry. So now, how
How supportive were your parents?
My parents were very supportive actually, but my parents just wanted to see solidity, and they wanted to see another plan besides this one. So in high school, I was that guy that did the sound and everything. So my parents started buying me like these speakers that I could like play at weddings or parties or whatever, with an amp and my own mixer and with my own little
so you were that guy
player.
you were very cool back in the days.
But my parents were like, yo, if you're gonna do this, first of all you need to do it right, and then we need to see something else that's either gonna back this thing up or gonna be completely different, you know. So I went to Soul Candy the first year to study music business and music production. I was already producing, I just needed obviously some knowledge behind it to get more understanding. And a year later I went to Boston Media House to go study marketing. You know what I mean? So that alone came together eventually. You know what I mean? Now I'm using my marketing qualification to kind of like build the brand and grow the brand, and then I still have the talent side of things sorted, you know. So it's the science and art that comes together.
Wow, brilliant, man. Lebz The Villian is actually out here in the studio. Any questions you might have for the Brotherman, please WhatsApp us on +27 7925 44329. These guys actually came through and of course did a song. You did a song with DJ Texan called Roots. Love that song.
A lot of people love Roots.
Love that song.
Yo, bro, and we were just playing around. Texan is actually the one that's singing on the song.
Are you for real?
Yeah, it's one of those things. Bro, can you sing? Yeah, I can try. Okay, let's do it. Then that came up and we're like, okay, let's just put it out. You know what I mean? So it's not a song that you bump in clubs or whatever. No, it's like when you're sitting at home or when you're driving, whatever, it's those kind
Chilling.
of songs. Yeah. And that's mostly the kind of music I make.
Wow.
Contrary to what I play.
Lebz The Villian inside the studio, 17 minutes past 10 o'clock Central African time. This is the Morning Mayhem. #School of House.
On Morning Mayhem with Trans-Africa Radio.
Otherwise, the time now is exactly 21 minutes past 10 o'clock Central African time. A third and final hour of the show. And of course, in the studio, we've actually got Lebogang. Brother man, I've actually been trying to pronounce your surname and Tubachale.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
They used to tease me and call me Break long ago.
Yeah.
Because Tuba means to break,
To
and
break,
Khale means a while back.
Yeah.
So they used to say break long ago. I don't know what they were saying.
Wow. Now, one thing that I also understand about you, Brotherman, is that you're also an entrepreneur, you know?
Yeah.
What's about this National Quota? Is it National Quota?
Yeah, National Quota Day.
National Quota Day.
Yeah,
Yeah,
look,
tell us about it.
I came up with an idea that Showcase
Hotel. Showcase Hotel.
all the time.
Showcase
And so on.
Hotel. Showcase
And
Hotel.
if funny enough, it's funny how those quarter stores in the hood are actually the fundamental income of the household. So the mother or the grandmother or the dad, the uncle that's running the shop will then use those same income to take the kid to school, buy necessary household essentials for the house with the income from the quota, you know what I mean? So I created this idea of National Quota Day to say, let us drive a lot of traffic towards these stores so people can buy these quotas on one day. Let it be your cheat day if you're a gym freak, whatever. Just to make sure that these people get a lot of income.
It's
from
like giving
this.
back.
Yes, like you know what I mean? And so that they can just have a better life. And if you think about it, there are corporates that are making billions from these quota stores around the townships, you know what I mean, that sell, I mean, the cheese company, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to mention a few, but it's fine. The cheese companies, the Lavavachunama chips, the bread company, you know what I mean? So everybody seems to be benefiting billions from this economy of Yamakota, except the people that are really making it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I was like, let's then drive more traffic. But I actually stopped doing it because it sparked a lot of minds. It sparked a lot of thinking in the township youth. Okay. A lot of people are doing kota events. I'm sure you've seen a lot of kota stuff going around. There's kota to what that Abo Wasabi at kota to Abo Wasabi are doing. There's a kota festival in Soweto. There's a kota what, you know what I mean?
There's just so many things happening.
Around the kota and these things obviously came after the idea. So I was like, okay, I've reached my goal. Okay. You know what I mean? Because this thing is not about me. It's not about you. It's about the community at large. So if it sparked a lot of thinking you don't even have to have a job to own a kota or a tuck shop kokas. You know what I mean? You can just have, if you think about it, a basic kota will cost you 15 rand.
Sure.
If you sell 10 of those a day, you know what I mean?
You've got like 150 in a day.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they sell more. You know, they sell like 1,000 a day. You know what I mean? And that's them being entrepreneurial. And I mean, I'm Kulino Koko dog. My grandmother also used to have a tuck shop, Kokas. And it's just like basically what she was doing. So I came up with the idea, it worked, and I was like, sharp, I'm leaving it because there's so much happening right now around the kota.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna step back and let itself just build itself, because creating something that if I die, it needs to exist though.
Okay, cool. Now speaking about food, dog, are you aware of what you eat, or you just don't really care?
Oh no, I'm very aware of what I eat. I'm a jogger, so I jog.
Shout out to you, man. When did you start jogging?
I've been jogging for a while now. I think since last year. At least like 20 kilometers or 30 a week.
Okay.
That I do. So I definitely watch what I eat. I'm not like strict on a lot of things.
Sure.
I eat my carbs. I eat. You know what I mean? Sometimes I cheat.
Yeah.
You know, but like it's not a matter of not watching it. It's just like sometimes Khalilizm doesn't none. And I mean, come on.
And according to Lebza The Villian, what isn't just none? You know when you're saying, you know what, it was actually a hectic night.
Yeah.
I'm from the studio, I'm from a gig, and I just need to pamper myself.
Yo, like,
what do you go for?
Yo, Chicken Licken did something to our stuff. Yo, I don't know what
you
they
are
put
such
in
a
those
darky dog.
I don't know what they put in those wings.
Yeah.
But damn, you're like doing a good job, bro. Like it's like it heals you from everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? From everything. Heartbreak, night out. Just have Chicken Licken wings, bro. Like if you're upset, eat my wings. That's a Chicken Licken. You know what I mean? So no, trust me. Like I could wake up at like 8 or 9. Get there, get the wings, sit in the house the whole day. Everybody loves those wings, bro.
It's the wings, man.
Standard,
Nothing much.
Nothing much.
You're such a sumo guy, man. And it just went to show how much of a black person you are, man. You just love your chicken, man.
I just love my chicken, yeah.
Do you cook?
Yeah, I cook a lot. I love a lot of Asian food, so
Listen to this guy.
Yeah, I love a
lot. Man.
So I cook especially the Indian food. Ooh, that's like
okay, Doc. For me, I'm from Davidson. I'm from the hood, the twat, you know.
Yeah.
So when you say Indian Asian food, I'm thinking of spaghetti, and even though it's not even spaghetti, I know it's like Italian food, you know. But I'm clueless,
so you can get like your stuff that your Thai meals, you know, and you can also get the Indian meals are my best, like your chicken tikkas, butter chicken, lamb biryani, curry, stuff like that. Yeah, I can make those things at home, so I love making those things.
Wow, clearly your girlfriend is like, hey.
No, but she's also like, it's a competition, you know, always trying to see who's gonna make the best. Yeah, but I mean, as she knows, when I cook, I always go Asian. Yeah.
So now who's been winning the challenge?
Of course she's winning, you know, woman. They come with the energy.
Oh, you just don't want to say you are winning because she's listening right now.
Man, you know what I mean. You can't win such things. Win other things.
Now, brother man, you are actually a resident DJ. For a very prominent radio station called YFM, you know, and you've actually been doing your mixes for a very long time right now, and that's how you've actually been growing your brand, you know. Like, I want to understand, like, what influences your mixes that you do, dog, you know, because like they are very, very, very dope. Shout out, dog.
Good, no, thanks, dog. I think my biggest influences are obviously when I was growing up, I was listening to, there were only a few DJs that were doing mixes on radio, you know, at the time, and I think I was growing up in the era of DJ Kent and Euphonic with the Alta mixes, and that really shaped my mixing skills because they like extremely musical in their mixes, and as the time went by, house music evolved on its own and started becoming a lot more drummier, a lot more African and tribal.
And the BPM kind of increased as well.
Yeah, exactly. The BPMs kind of started going up, but I then used that influence to say I grew up in the era of being highly influenced by these DJs.
Sure.
I'm gonna take that and what's currently happening to shape my style of mixing.
Okay.
So I did that. I mean, like if you listen to my mixes, I do a lot of reprises, I do a lot of mashups, I do a lot of old school, kind of like something in the new school beat, you know what I mean? So that's the influence. It's just, and it happens naturally. Now. It's not a matter of I sit down and think, okay, no. It just, even when I'm just mixing, I just put whatever I put together and it works out.
So now, have you always wanted to be like a resident DJ for a particular radio station? Were you always wanted to do radio?
I always wanted to reach as many people as I could reach.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Fair enough.
Yeah, and it wasn't really about either being a radio station or on a TV station. It was just a matter of if I can find a way to reach a lot of people at the same time, I'll do it. You know, and I started off. I think I'm not sure if you remember, Vuzu TV used to have a mixed show called
late at
411. No. The earlier one, there was one that happened during the day. Kabuma 5-6. It was called the 411. You know, it was when Vuzu just started.
Okay.
You know, they had a mixed show called the 411. Trust me, Google it.
Okay, cool.
I was 17 when I played on Vuzu. On the 411, you know, there was this time in December where this guy was like, "Yo, we don't have a DJ. I need you to come in." So I came in at the 411, and the response and everything I saw at that time, I was like, "Wow, I'd really love to reach a lot of
bigger
people,
masses,
bigger masses at the same time, you know." And now you have multiple platforms to do that. You can do it on your social media pages, you can do it on radio, you can do it on TV.
Sure.
You can do it like almost anywhere.
Sure.
And for me to be on the platform that I grew up listening to is nothing but a blessing, dude, because like, anybody growing up in the 90s, Kokasi, the only thing you listened to was YFM. And you know what I mean?
Hottest frequency, dog.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
And you wanted to do something. you wanted to do something, you know? Yeah. So and at the time, I mean, now it's different, bro. Now we have internet radio. You know what I mean? Where we have over 50,000 people listening at the same time, you know?
Sure.
So things have evolved ever since then. So yeah, any platform that allows me to reach a lot of people at the same time, I'll be more than willing to do it. Okay,
cool. Thank you so much, Brother, for that. Otherwise, now we're going to be taking it back to the music. You did a song called Appreciate, featuring Ray T. Ray T also came through once. She spoke really highly of you, by the way, you know? And she was like, Lebz is such a cool guy, man. Such a very professional guy. Like,
I'm very professional. Yo, bro, like, if you're not professional, we're not gonna work together. Okay. Yeah, that's just it. No, the thing is, time, guys. Like, you can't get that stuff back. You can't get time back. You can't get seconds back. So why you wanna play games? You know.
Sure.
If we said time, just stick to it. That's why I came early today.
Shout out to you, man. Lebza The Villian is actually out here in the studio, 32 minutes past the 10 o'clock Central African time. Any questions you might have for the brother man, please WhatsApp us on +27 7925 44329. The song is called 082 and the time now is exactly 42 minutes past the 10 o'clock Central African time. Lebz is actually out here in the studio, man. Any questions you might have for the brotherman, please WhatsApp us on +27 7925 44329. We've actually got DJ Men Pezudo on this one coming through and says that shout outs to Lebza The Villian. I love his music, man, so much. Temam Timane also comes through and says that good morning to Lebza The Villian. The villain. Why the name Villain? Okay, cool. I was about to actually ask you the question, and then the person just decided to actually come through and of course ask you that question.
The name The Villain came out very interestingly. And I was at Soul Candy Institute of Music, and at the time DJ Cuba, Mpoza and Hypnosis were dropping the album called Candy Roots. I'm not sure if you guys people remember Candy Roots. And on Candy Roots, the biggest song or the single that they were pushing at the time was that DJ Mpoza, just move your body. Top, that song. So they were shooting the music video, and the concept of the video was there were going to be 3 superheroes, and they needed a villain. And I was picked from the academy to come play the villain on the music video. You can check it out. I think it's on YouTube or something. And after the music video day, when we shot and everything, and then Cuba is like, yo, bro, why don't you just call yourself the villain? And I was like, oh, that could work. He says, yeah, now you have a story behind it. You know what I mean? And I called myself Lebza The Villian. And I mean, I also, coming up with the name for me was, I needed a name that didn't have DJ in front of it at the time. And this is like when I was still 19 or 18. I needed a name that didn't have DJ in front of it.
Why was that?
Because
that subconscious idea?
Because I didn't I don't only want to be big in South Africa. I don't only want to be big in Africa. I want to be big in the world, and I want to do stuff global. And one of the guys said to me, if that's the case, then look at the global DJs that inspire you and look at their names. So I looked at David Guetta, Martin Garrix, I looked at Tiesto, and I didn't see no DJ in front of their name. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, okay. You know, I was like, oh, so it's just basically saying a name and somebody's surname, but it's not really their real name. So it's like saying Lebza The Villian. So the villain is the surname, and Lebza is the name. You know what I mean?
Okay,
but yeah, I got it from the music video. So if you guys actually want to check it out, go on YouTube, type DJ Imposa Move.
Sure. Move your
the
bag.
song is called Move. Yeah, DJ Imposa Move, and you'll see the guy playing the villain there is actually me.
I actually didn't notice, you know.
Yeah.
I'll actually do myself a favor and actually watch the music
you must
video
check it out, yeah.
once again. Now, dog, you've actually been in the industry for a very long time right now.
Yeah.
You know, for someone that doesn't know you, you've actually worked on so many projects, you know, and you've also worked with so many artists as well. You know, the likes of Kara as well. You know, the likes of DJ Taxon. Now, when actually choosing a particular artist to actually work with on a particular song, you know, what is like the choosing process or the picking up process of a certain artist?
Yeah, right now I think it's more of relationships.
Okay.
So the guys that you mentioned actually friends of mine. You know what I mean? So it was easier for us to work together because I mean the relationship will stand more than anything. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So I actually have future plans to work with like other great artists,
Like?
South African artists, like Shekinah, Zahara, Adele. You know what I mean? Nah, but that won't happen if I don't keep moving on my own brand and keep doing my music myself until I get the relationship.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So the relationship for me is it's like the most important thing because that's what's gonna make the gelling of the music actually.
Going to the studio.
You know what I mean? And we'll both be free, also creatively. You know what I mean? Whereas if we don't have a relationship, it's more of a professional thing, and I don't think we'd enjoy it more.
Yeah.
So yeah, DJ Taxon and Cairo are actually my friends. So we just sit down, come up with an idea, we laugh, and then we're doing it. Then we're like, oh wow, I just pressed the button.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then it's nice, and then we're all having a good time. So it's more about the friendship or the relationship that we have. I don't really look at a certain way of saying no, I don't work with you because you sound like this or whatever. No,
Okay.
it's more of a relationship. So yes, I think the more relationships I'll build in the industry will definitely mean more work because it's easier like that.
Okay, have you ever tried working with someone and you've actually tried to establish a relationship with them and that person was just like, nah?
I don't think people were like, nah. I think more people were like, okay, the time will come.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like,
sure.
I just recently had a conversation with Shekinah actually. Like, we were just talking, and I was like, yo, I really want to work with him. She's like, no problem. That time will come.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So that also means she's like saying when the relationship is probably solid enough between you and I, we could probably just, because I mean, she doesn't even do house music. You know what I mean?
You know? But she did a song rather with Moby Dixon.
Yeah, with Moby Dixon. But that's like what, her first house song?
Actually, yeah.
You think about, you know what I mean? And that's a
actually,
relationship thing because they have a relationship through the record company. You know what I mean? So I think that's where we need to. The relationships are better, guys. Like,
but now, don't you feel like disgruntled when you actually want to work with someone and probably like the timing is actually not that great? But now for you personally, you feel like right now is actually the time. You know,
I think I don't say I'd feel disgruntled, but I'd say I'd have a better understanding because somebody at that level of artistry, you can ask yourself how many people are trying to work with her already, you know? So it's not the first time for her hearing somebody say, I want to do a song with you. And she probably gets that like every 20 minutes.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So then you need to look at the value side of things. I know right now if I were to work with somebody like Zahara, the value that it would give me would be insane.
Yeah.
But also what value would that give her? You know what I mean? So does she need you right now? Truth is she doesn't. You know, if anything, you need her
more than anything.
Yeah, but you need to get to a point where the need is mutual, or the value add is mutual, where she sees value in working with you, and you see value in working with her. But a lot of people don't work with a lot of artists because some artists just don't see the value in working with a lot of people. You know what I mean? So you're on the come up, but you're on the come up with 10 million other people. that are trying to work with
You're not
me.
the only one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But so what's the value or that I would get by working with? So no, I don't get disgruntled. If anything, it's a thing of, okay, I need to work harder so that by the time I come back to her and be like, yo, let's work, then she'd see the value in actually saying, you know what, let me just work with this kid.
Okay, cool. Now, earlier on, I was actually talking to Brazo Africa, you know, and he was actually telling me how difficult it is to actually build a brand, you know, and I'm like, yeah, it's very difficult, especially in this industry of ours, you know. Now, I want to ask you the very same question, dog, you know, like, what are some of the difficulties that you've actually come across in just building your own brand?
Yeah. I think the biggest one is the fact that we are at a space where there's clutter. There's brands everywhere. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Your biggest challenge is not building the brand, but is making the brand stand out. You know what I mean? So there's so many of them. So you need to find a way to stand out, make your brand stand out. And for me, it's interesting because it goes back to my marketing qualification. Where I understand where my brand's at. I think a lot of people coming up, or a lot of people in the industry don't really understand where their brand is in their product life cycle. You know, there are certain stages of your brand: your introduction, growth, your cash cow, and your decline. So you need to know.
Dog, hey, you just took me to school right now. Break it down for Ebrada.
Yeah.
And
So
break it down for
basically,
listeners.
I think it's just 4 stages of your product life cycle for any brand. Your introduction stage, your growth stage, your cash cow, and your decline stage. So you need to understand where your brand is in that product life cycle, so that you know which strategies to put in place to grow yourself. So by the introduction stage, that's where there's a lot of brands in the introduction, because like you're competing with everybody else trying to introduce themselves to the brand. That's where you need to know your market, you need to know where you stand, you need to know where your following is, you need to do research and find out where your people are. So you talk to those people, because the more you talk to your people, the more they recruit other people. Like going to church and they tell you, bring your friend to church tomorrow, then your brand, you know what I mean? Building cells. What do they call it in church? I forgot. I haven't been there in a while.
I was never been to church in like over years now.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So it's just a matter of understanding where you are. And by understanding where your brand is, you'll actually be quite patient with yourself and understand that, okay, I just need to work more on this, and visibility, people's faces, people need to hear me, people need to see me. I focus a lot on people's senses. So if people need to touch the brand, they need to see the brand, they need to hear the brand. You can't smell it, so I need to find a way to also touch into your 7 senses. You know, so if I can touch at least 4 of those, I think I'm reaching, like, that's why I created my event called Night of the Villian. That's when it's more a tangible aspect to things, where people can leave their radios at home and leave their phones
and just come
and experience it and see it live. You know what I mean? Whereas if they're not there, then they can listen to me. And if they're not there, they can go on YouTube and see me. You know what I mean? So there just needs to be a lot of work, and you just need to understand where your brand is. I think that's the most important thing, because in your introduction stage, that's where you invest a lot. You know what I mean? In your brand. In your growth stage, that's where the money that comes in goes out back into your brand. And the cash cow, that's the stage you ideally want to be in, because that's where you want to milk it like crazy.
That's where the money's just coming in.
That's where you must just milk it like crazy before you reach your decline. And if anything, by the cash, that's where you want to find your brand, in the cash cow stage, where you are just there for the longest time ever.
Okay, cool. Now, sorry to jump in there, you know, like when you actually reach a certain level of cash cow, you know, like how important is financial knowledge? Because now a lot of artists, a lot of people in the entertainment industry, they seem not to be really, you know, aware or clued up with how to manage finances, you know. So how is it important to you, rather, to be able to actually control your finances?
To be honest with you, I'm not at the cash cow stage yet, so I can't talk about it.
I understand.
I understand the question. I think, for me, the importance of understanding financial knowledge is, obviously, we can't all be good at the same thing. So if you can't be good at it, somebody else is good at it. So that's why you need a team. Find people who know how it works and understand how it works, so that they can help you with it. But another thing is that I think we also put so much pressure on people. You know, because remember, the perception of what's happening is not really the reality. Sometimes, especially in this industry, because it's so fickle, you need to create the perception where it looks like you actually doing well when in reality when you're not. But the funny thing is, when it looks like you're doing well, is more people want to work with you. When it looks like you're not doing well, nobody wants to work with you.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
So you need to understand that.
You
need to understand the perception management of it also. By the time you reach a point where you're actually making the desirable income from your career or industry, get somebody who understands these things and sit down with that person and be like, yo, bro, I'm getting X amount and I want to grow it or whatever. There are people who would advise you on how to do it, you know. So yeah, I just feel like we maybe sometimes have too much pride to ask questions, and we end up thinking we know it all when you don't really know it all. So yeah, just pick up the phone and call, bro. Like, ask. I know I'm very annoying. I ask a lot of questions. I love the knowledge transfer more than anything. Like, I call a lot of artists, actually big guys. I call Mo Flavor, I call DJ Fresh, I call Boshimza, Euphonic, all of those guys, just to ask questions. You know, like, yo, dog, how do I do this? I'm like, you're annoying. You know, I'll tell you. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm the kind of guy, because by the time, I don't want to get to a stage where I get there and then I wish I would have asked questions.
Oh, okay.
You know, so I want to ask them now. So by the time I get there, I'll be like, no, but that guy once said, so, you know. So yeah, just ask questions, bro. And there's a lot of pressure that happens around us that you need to just have your head right. You know what I mean? How do you control the pressure though? Like, how do you control the fame? How do you control the love? How do you control the pressure that also comes with being in the public eye? I think right now it's just a matter of just knowing where you're going and knowing who you are personally. You know what I mean? I'm very too, like, a lot of people, I'll be like chilling in the hood by quarter, and a lot of people are like, Lebz by quarter, really, man? You know what I mean? I'll be like, yo, bro, I'm from here. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm from here, and it's that's why it comes back to that pressure thing. You know what I mean? And the South African industry, also entertainment industry, is very tough.
Sure.
Very tough for a lot of young artists like us that are trying to break through. You know what I mean? So, it's just no way. I have very thick skin, bro. A lot of things that could have broken me are bigger than me just hearing a stupid comment from somebody. And I could have been broken by other things. So you coming in with your whatever negative energy is just a minor thing to me. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So I'm like, honestly, I've got very thick skin, and I've got a strong character. So it will take a lot to break me.
Where do you take those qualities from? From your mom? From your dad?
Where do I take them from? I think it's just a combination of things. You know, the first of all, the way I grew up. You know, I grew up in the township, going to schools in the burbs. So when I get to the burbs, I get teased about certain things. When I go back to the township, I get teased about being from the burbs. You know what I mean? So you know, I was a guy who was playing cricket. You know what I mean? You know, but stuff like that never really broke me, bro. Like, it was just a matter of they teasing me or they bullying me or whatever. But then you build a strong character at the young age, and you grow up with it, and then you see the same thing happening, and you're like, I have dealt with this kind of behavior before. It's nothing new to me. You know what I mean? So it's just, I think my background really is like one of the biggest things I could thank for my, I think, my counter to that pressure.
Thank you so much, Brother Man, for coming through. Sadly, we are only just left with 3 minutes of the show. And we just have to say bye-bye, everybody. It's been nice. It's been fantastic, man. Thank you so much for coming through, Brother Man.
Cool.
Otherwise, what's next for Lebz The Villian? Where can actually people catch you on social media?
You know that what's next question is so tough, bro. Like, you just worked, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you just achieved something big, and somebody's like, okay, cool, what's next? You're like, what? I just worked.
Are you joking?
I just did a lot, joking? Bro, you know what I mean? Yeah. So what's next?
Actually, let's start here. How was Nights of the Villian?
No, it was crazy. Big shout out to everybody that came to Zone 6 venue on the 31st of August. It was really dope. That's like last week Friday. You know, I had Mikasa on, I had Jay Molly, I had Candice Medicel and Mia as the MCs. It was really quite dope. But what's next is I'm definitely going to be dropping some more music. A lot of more music. And I'm going to be doing a lot of events. The sun is back. It's coming back up now, and people are happier now. So we're going to host a lot of events. But otherwise, just follow me on all social media platforms at Lebz The Villian on everything, and you can just get like more details there.
Thank you so much, Brother Man, for coming through.
Thanks for having me.
That was actually Lebz The Villian.
This is Trans Africa Radio.